The tensions between the United States of America and China in their tech war have reached greater heights. TikTok has now been banned from government-issued cell phones due to allegations of being a perceived security risk. Apparently, the American government and the FBI claim that the officials in China could gain access to the user data of American citizens under Chinese law, which states that every Chinese company is compelled to hand over sensitive information if required by the government. However, we can't help but feel there is a much bigger picture here. Is TikTok really a threat to national security, or is the American government trying to nip the advancements of China in the bud, once again? Find out in today's video. In an amazing turn of events, the government of America recently approved an unprecedented ban on the use of TikTok on federal government devices. According to American lawmakers, it is the right course of action. ByteDance apparently poses a threat to the security of the entire nation, an issue they can't turn a blind eye to. For the benefit of those who aren't really up to date with the ban, it essentially means that the employees of the American government would mandatorily remove the application from any of their devices issued by the government, unless they are using it for law enforcement or national security activities. In response to the ban, though, Brooke Oberwetter, a spokesperson of the app, said the company felt rather disappointed that Congress went the extra mile with the proposal. He claims it to be a political gesture that will do nothing to advance national security interests. This comes after other federal agencies like the White House and the Homeland Security, State, and Defense Departments had pretty much already banned their employees from using the application. In addition, the Chief Administrator of the House of Representatives, Catherine Spinder, instructed all lawmakers and members of staff to stop using the app by deleting it from any and all of their devices. You're probably wondering how and why things became so serious, aren't you? You see, the security concerns surrounding the application from ByteDance are far from recent developments. Donald Trump, the former president of America, initially tried to ban TikTok during his administration, albeit failing to do so. But, some months ago, something new happened. Reports from so many news outlets claimed that the employees of ByteDance were gaining access to the user data and information of American citizens, and just as you would expect, it was all more than enough to get the application under the radar of the FBI. Christopher Wray, the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, pressed hard on the concerns of the app being a risk to national security. You see, according to him, the potential threats from TikTok include the possibility that the Chinese government could use it to control data collection on millions of users. Just as if that wasn't enough, he also claimed that the government of China could also control the recommendation algorithm of the application, which could then be used to influence operations if they deem it fit. Finally, he also claimed that the Chinese government could control software on millions of devices, which allows it to technically compromise personal devices. Just last year, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri introduced a ban quite similar to the one that has just recently been put into effect. According to Hawley, the TikTok app is a Trojan horse for the Chinese Communist Party. Also, in addition to Missouri, some states predominantly led by the Republican Party, including Virginia, Texas, and South Dakota, have recently banned any use of the Chinese app on all devices that were issued by the state government. Alas, this brings us to the burning question: is TikTok really a security threat, or is the American government continuing its recent antics of sidelining any technological advancement of the Asian giant? Citizen Lab, a University of Toronto-affiliated research group, has some interesting things to say. According to their findings, TikTok doesn't really threaten America's national security, far from what the lawmakers and the FBI claim. In a published report, they claimed to find out there wasn't any strange transmission of data and user information from the company to the Chinese government, especially given the app had zero communication with any Chinese server during their time of testing. Yes, TikTok stores user information, but every other social media application does the same. We should be most concerned about what TikTok uses the data for, but, thankfully, there's no foul play there, either. According to Revelations, TikTok tracks the behavior of their users to provide streamlined advertisements on their platform, but what's malicious about that? They even share the data with third parties like Facebook and Google. Furthermore, according to the study, TikTok does not gather contact lists and recordings from users, images, locations, and even videos without the user's consent, which is something that other prominent social media platforms do as well. The study clearly notes that TikTok informs Facebook, an American-based platform, on the precise posts that users watch and when they like a post or follow another person. The information only helps TikTok learn about their users and how they behave on the app to improve their algorithm and suggestions. Should the American government be really worried about that? With all things considered, it's safe to say the report cements TikTok's status as an application that doesn't threaten national security. As for the concerns about TikTok sending information to the Chinese government, they also debunked that. They stated, "It also does not appear to harm national security by being uncooperative with government data requests or by spreading information favorable to the Chinese government." When discussing TikTok as a danger, several people bring up the problem of TikTok collecting users' clipboard data and saving what users copy and paste. While that was once true, given how they have long stopped the practice, it was merely an anti-spam measure, and again, other apps like ABC News do so too. Guys, can you see why the controversy surrounding TikTok feels a little too much? Time and again, TikTok has clearly stated it would never give up its data to the Chinese government. And why would they even need to? The company actually keeps all of its American user data on servers in Singapore and the United States of America. With the latter being part of the fold, how exactly would China gain access to the data? That's going to be a daunting task, wouldn't you say? With everything that has been stated, it's really understandable why Adam Siegel, an expert in cybersecurity at the Council on Foreign Relations, stated TikTok is completely faultless. There's no publicly available evidence that TikTok has ever done anything wrong. Interestingly, TikTok also carefully separates its business with the United States of America from its Chinese parent company. Did you know that TikTok doesn't even work in China? Douyin, the Chinese equivalent of TikTok, is actually what is being used on Chinese soil. How is TikTok different from other safe social media applications? Guys, you see, giant platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and many others act similarly to TikTok. They all store information and data from their various users, target those profiles with suitable advertisements, and collect device information like the operating system used, the actual model of the device, and even the screen's resolution. Why, then, are they faultless and TikTok the bad guys? A lot of researchers in the field of security doubt America's claim that TikTok is a malicious application and platform. Let's look at what some of them have to say, shall we? First off, Mike Thompson, a security expert, says, "I have yet to witness a verified, physical danger. It's just the typical guff about a new software meant to help people interact. Yes, there is some risk, but it is no worse than the numerous other social networking communities." To further buttress Mike's point, Baptiste Robert, another security researcher, also stated, "As far as we can see, in its current state, TikTok doesn't have a suspicious behavior and is not exfiltrating unusual data. The truth of the matter is that unless the USA is going to suspend platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and so many others, their fight against TikTok feels so pointless. Yes, it may be easier for the government of China to gain access to TikTok than those other platforms, but it's not like the others are saints either." Another thing we'd like to add is that, in the long run, things may actually turn out to be really bad for America. There's really no reason why a ban on TikTok wouldn't force China's hands to seek vengeance by retaliation. Jillian Diebold, a policy analyst at the Center for Data Innovation, had something interesting to say. According to him, blanket bans on apps based on a company's foreign ownership will only hurt U.S. businesses in the long run because countries could seek to block U.S. online services over similar national security concerns. Jillian also believes that the policymakers should be targeting solutions that can tackle security risks instead of making outright bans. To address data concerns, policymakers should prioritize implementing federal privacy legislation that would expressly compel corporations to identify who they share data with and hold them accountable for those claims. Do you think TikTok poses a threat in the future if left unchecked, or do you perhaps feel America is just trying to break the wings of a company winning more hearts than all of its home-based media platforms? Let us know in the comments section. Also, like and subscribe so you don't miss our new videos as they drop. See you there.